afternoon, Diocese of Grand Island. Corey Korleski here, and we are about to start our 2019 Bishops Diocesan Appeal virtual celebration. And while you're coming into the event, this is our virtual social hour, a time for us to get to know a little bit about the staff here at the Diocese, at the Chancellery office, maybe put a name to a face as we've done in the past. This is just another way for us to touch base and to say hello and really just give you a little insight on who we are and why we're here. And I want to kick that off by just sharing some of the news from the Office of Stewardship and Development. As you know, we also run the Diocesan Appeal, and that's what we're here today to do, is celebrate that. And we have a lot of great things to share. In fact, I'm going to hold my tongue as much as I can from not sharing the current status of this year's appeal. But I will tell you, it is worth celebrating about. We are excited to share that news with you soon. A little bit about myself. Again, I'm Corey. I grew up in the western part of the state, and came to the church in my mid-20s. And ever since then, the Holy Spirit has guided me as He's guided me here into this very space that we're in. Just to know that whatever gifts and talents God has given us, that's what I'm hoping that I can live out. But as I share a little bit more about our office and what our office has done, over the last year, we have done over $117,000 in grants, building for both buildings and facilities, for our seminarians, our religious sisters, for mass stipends, technology upgrades in the Chancellery office, and our Lumen Christi Award recipient this year. That recipient was Rita Hemmer from St. Leo's. Here is her $1,000 check. This $1,000 check will get delivered to St. Leo's this next week. This is for her to use in any way she likes. So I would ask you, I'd encourage your pastor, those of you that are in here watching this morning or this afternoon, first off, that if you know somebody in your parish that deserves to be nominated for this year's Lumen Christi Award, we highly encourage you to turn that name in. Also, from last year, just a quick recap of the I Give Catholic campaign that we did last year, and that's that Giving Tuesday, or I Give Catholic on Giving Tuesday this year. Last year we had that one day of giving. We had 26 parishes participate, 163 donors, and over $21,000 were donated on that one day to those 26 parishes across our diocese. That event is coming up again this December 1st, and I would encourage you to please set up your I Give Catholic pages and do a fundraiser for your parish. Finally, we have the 20 lay ministry scholarships that we've been able to get out over this last year. 20 lay ministry scholarships totaling over $7,000 in scholarships that we've been able to help teachers and those looking to continue their education across our diocese. More information on that, simply call our office. We'd be happy to share it with you. And finally, some Bibles that we were able to get out to the diocese, over 375 English and 20 Spanish Bibles. We helped to coordinate to get those out to the parishes. And I share that with you for this one reason. Our offices are here to serve you. That's what this is about. The Diocesan Appeal is a form of funding that allows our offices to do as much as we can for all the parishes that are out there watching. So if you've joined us this morning or this afternoon, it's not morning, I got to get over that. But if you're joining us this afternoon, I just want to say thank you for being here. We look forward to a good couple of hours. We have, again, our staff that will be coming in to introduce you to them. And finally, the bishop and I will then kick off the event starting right at 4 o'clock. So no more for me to say other than to introduce you to our first guest. That first guest is my administrative assistant, Amy Shear. So Amy, would you come in and join us, please? Thank you. And there she is.
Hi, Corey.
How are you, Amy?
Great.
Good. Thanks for being here. So again, I just want to say, and I want this to be very public, that so many things that get done in my office and so many of the details and the things that make it count, like all the things that get out to the parishes and updating you with information that goes on from our office and specifically the appeal, this is the woman that gets it done. So Amy, I thank you so much for that. So if you wouldn't mind, maybe start off by just telling us a little bit about yourself and who's Amy Shear?
All right. Well, I'd rather be behind the scenes.
Yes, I do know that.
I'm from St. Paul, go to St. Peter and Paul Parish there, And probably what I enjoy the most is just being with family. We live outside in the country, so I'll walk down the road with my daughter and grandkids is kind of the highlight of my days.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about what can you think of in the last year? What are some of the things that stand out to you as far as what our office has done and how we've been able to support parishes and the different ways that we communicate with our parishes?
Oh gosh, I don't know. We do so much, Corey.
Hey, I like to hear that.
We keep busy, that's for sure.
Yes.
And I guess the best way I can think about it is just, we're kind of a little step that maybe there's going to be an encounter with Jesus. These people that sign up for the lay ministry scholarship that they take back to their parish or their Catholic school and have an encounter. So that's kind of the thing that really is dear to my heart about being able to be a part of what I call a ministry, not a job.
Yeah. We started off this thing, it's been over a year now that we started with, anytime we get somebody on the phone or we share time with somebody, we like to offer up an intention, right? And that's one of the things about our office that I really enjoy, because just to hear what the people that we're communicating with or that we share our time with over the phone or in some cases in person, like the prayer workshop last year, is just to be able to get to know what they're dealing with or, offer up a special intention. And we try to do that as often as possible, I think.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to share really quick while I have Amy here and just out there to the public, if you are getting on or you've joined us already today, this afternoon, now that I've got that correct, please, in the chat bubble, if you would just let us know what parish you're from and who you are so that we can start to recognize those of you that have joined us today. And any comments that you might have to make, we'd love to hear from you as we go throughout the day. And Amy will be working behind the scenes to help keep people mic'd up and get everybody here, because we are really, we are experts at this. We've been doing this most of our time, right? Like Amy said, there's few people in this office that you won't see today because I don't think they had the courage to get out here, but I get it. That's fine. So anyway, any final thoughts? Just anything that you'd like to just share or express to the people out there and a message from Amy.
Yeah, oh gosh. Well, we're just excited for you to tune in, and I think it's, about celebrating where we've been, everything that's happened in the diocese in the last year, and looking forward and asking God's blessing for what comes next. And we truly appreciate every donor and every parish and the work they do. Yeah,
absolutely. So a few things came in right now. Father Saugers there from Holy Spirit. By the way, if any of you know about the parish bazaar, whatever they're doing today, Father Sauger has a drawing for that to get to eat his food. I wish I could have participated in that, sent my $20 in. I suppose he'll take my $20. I see Vicki Osborne, Brenda Austin. So it's just Father Jim Golka is joining us, Jolene from the foundation here at GICC. So it's just kind of nice to see we've got people joining us.
Amen.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks like a couple thousand are on, Amy, so you're doing pretty good. Hey, so listen, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for all you do for our office and for our diocese. And that's it. You did it.
I made it, huh?
Congratulations.
Great.
Oh, wait a minute. You know who was the greatest comedian in the Bible?
No.
Samson. He brought down the house.
Oh, wow.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Corey.
Yeah. Keep us on time, huh? Would you? That'd be great. Okay. So, I'd like to bring up Father Neil Hoke. So Father Hoke is here today, our Director for Vocations. So a big round of applause for him and that. That is a wonderful thing. Thank you, Father. Also the pastor there at the Newman Center and Kearney. And Father Hoke does a ton. But I think one of the things you might be most recognized right now for is a poster with 8 seminarians.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
Isn't that great?
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And I got the pleasure of going and with Father and filming in North Platte and got to hear a little bit of these stories. So I don't know if those videos have been put up on the vocations site yet. Do you know?
I'm working on it.
Okay, working on it. But here's what happened. We were able to put these videos together, and then again, I wanted to share a big thank you to Pox Christie. That's who's here putting this event on for us today and making it as awesome as it's going to be. But, I got to go down and film them. And I'll tell you what, every one of those videos is worth watching. Every one of those videos is worth to get a little bit of an insight of how their vocation story started and everything that happened with that. So I'm taking up too much of your time.
No.
Just want to share this. If I could start by maybe give us a quick intro. Who's Father Hoke and whatever you want to share with us.
Sure. No, it's good. It's good. I come from Southwest Nebraska. Grew up on a farm there. Heard the call through my life as an accountant, and then joined the diocese. And it's been an amazing ride. Got to spend a couple of years in North Platte at St. Pat's. That was a great time. And now being at the Newman Center, going into my 7th year, I can't even believe that. But it's awesome. It's awesome to be a part of the diocese, to be a priest in this diocese. I love to cook. I've done that a lot, cooking dinners for different people, big Italian meals, eating too much, just having a lot of fun with that. So that's a good time. I love doing that. I love hanging out with the college students who are doing that. We had a movie night Friday night. That was a good time. But just love being a priest. That's probably, if that's what was on my tombstone, I'd be very happy. You love being a priest.
You mentioned the food. I've been lucky. I've been able to eat a couple of these meals. I'm going to tell you that this man knows how to cook. It's awesome. And of course, we started. My family and I started there in Kearney, and one of those opportunities to come down and help serve food with those kids. With the college students, especially on that kickoff dinner, whatever it might be. And it's just really, it's an experience. Because these are kids who aren't even Catholic in some cases, and that opportunity to sit across the table, share a meal. And it's a free meal, so college kids show up for free meals, right?
Mm-hmm.
They like those. So, But just that, it's just that idea that there's just so much going on there, and obviously your office has been very busy in finding these young men. What's our future hold? Are there any other potential candidates out there?
There are actually. I can't say any names, but we got the 8 guys in. I've got about 6 I'm working with. That
come on now, fill that poster.
That are interested, that are close. They're right there. You can feel it.
That's awesome.
But just keep cultivating their hearts and just helping them notice the Lord. And there's definitely those guys. They're there.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So let me ask you this: anything you can touch on in the past year, just something that stands out to you, an event or anything that's going on?
Sure. Yeah, I think. Really, especially with our seminary, there's always awesome things going on at the Newman Center, and I could tell stories all day on that.
Yeah.
But this summer, we had the opportunity with seminarians to go out, and we try to go around the diocese with this, but we got to go out to one of the ranches for a couple days and just do a little retreat, a little time together. And I tell you, we have 8 seminarians, which is great to fill the poster, but they're like 8 rock star guys. They're rock solid in their faith. They're great. They're a lot of fun to be around. These are guys that ask me, Father, we want to be assigned to a ranch to work next summer. We want to work. We want to get to know these people at the diocese in our summer. So this is the kind of people they are. But it was just a great time to be with them. They're just full of life, full of energy, very excited to be back in the diocese, to be present with everyone here and just love the Lord together and to be priests. They're fun to be around.
That is so cool. Mm-hmm. I remember, I got to catch up with you right after that, and I remember talking to them, and I don't know, hopefully they don't get taken from us by the cowboys in Nebraska and they run off, right across the prairie on their horses.
I don't think we have any fear of that.
Okay, good. They can't ride. That's good. That's good. Well, listen, hey, final thoughts. Anything from you that just to share with those that are joining us today?
No, just full of gratitude for the whole diocese, full of gratitude for everything that the people of God give. The people of God, just your faith inspires me, especially going through this time where we had to, go through that period where the churches were closed down. I could feel just this surge of prayer and energy and desire to be together and be in community. So thank you for all of that. Thank you for your witness of faith. Thank you for everything that you give to me personally, to the priest, the bishop, to each other. It's just awe-inspiring, and thank you so much. It helps.
You bet. Father, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for making the trip from Kearney.
Absolutely.
To come and sit here at the Chancellery staff.
Awesome.
Loved getting to talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, awesome.
All right.
God bless
great.
everyone.
And you drive safe if we don't see you again, please, if you head up. Oh, hey, do you know what time Adam was created?
What time? Game time.
Just before Eve.
Just before.
Ah, nice. I love it. That is such a good one. Okay. Well, as you can see, we keep it real around here. You know, that's one of the things that we stay on top of. Next guest today. Wow, we're already 15 minutes into this event, and hope you can feel some of the energy. We're really excited. Again, share that number. If you just joined us, please make sure to log in. Let us know that you're here. Name your parish, the parish that you're logging in from. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to get to them, but we want to continue to get to know those in the Chancery. So our next guest is going to be Eric Heckman. Here comes Eric. Eric, thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure.
Good to see you.
See you.
So, we've got to know each other over the last couple of years, I guess, and just see what's going on. First, Eric, if you wouldn't mind, just maybe let us know what office you hold and what you do for the Chancery.
Absolutely. I am the Director of Youth and Young Adult Ministry for the Diocese, and so my job is to come alongside the parishes and help create youth ministry opportunities for the young people of our diocese through camps and conferences and otherwise, and then to be a resource to people on, developing youth ministry within their parish, and to be an expert in youth ministry so that people can turn to me when they have questions on
Yeah.
it. And so that's basically what my job is. So,
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I know you come on board, and I know that Jen and I had made a Steubenville trip, and then you took it to the level that we needed to take it to. I mean, our last trip was, how many students did we have in that bus?
We filled the bus, so it was
the bus.
55 or 54.
Filled the bus,
Mhm.
and we did that, and it was it was one of those experiences, right? Like, I mean, you're out there, and I know, like, I think you would say this, that it's the bus trip that's probably even more impactful than some of the event, because
Absolutely.
especially on the way home, like some of the things
Yeah.
you want to share about
The
that.
most important trip of the most important point or time during any trip in youth ministry is the bus ride home. It's where you develop those relationships where you've had a shared experience,
Yeah.
had an encounter with the Lord together, and you get to unpack that over the time that you're on the bus. And so it's an opportunity to really get to know teenagers, to get to know each other. You've encountered Jesus through a shared experience, and so it's really fruitful. It's the most fruitful time of any trip. There's no question.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, kids on fire. I mean, I remember that one of those memorable moments is that they invited any of the young men or women up to see if they had been called or had any sort of a call or vocation. And I don't know what. I mean, it was amazing numbers.
It was
walked up.
remarkable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was. They just kept coming and coming and coming. It was.
And
was
they came
outstanding.
from our group.
And even we
Right?
had, for the girls, we had like more than, it was at least 10 girls go up to say I'd be open to a religious vocation.
Yeah.
And for the guys, it was at least 3 or 4 that were open to the priesthood. I mean, that's an incredible fruit of the conference and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just one of the many things that we do with youth ministry here in the diocese. Over the years, there's been a long history of our higher ground retreats. This would have been our 55th year had COVID not interrupted that. But next year we're looking forward to have year 55, and so that'll be coming. We do a higher ground middle school, which is beginning to do a little transformation for this next year. We had hoped that we'd do it this year, but next year it'll be one event for the middle schoolers rather than 2, and we can have hundreds of kids if they want to come. We'll have room for that and availability for that. And so that experience will be, a real catalyst for the middle school kids to kind of jump into a relationship with Christ and to really engage a number of other kids from across the diocese. So,
Okay. Good.
yeah.
Well, you had mentioned, I think, if there was any time that anything like a pandemic had come around, let's not do it in the summer when the kids are like, actually, that's when your office probably takes off the most. But regardless, I mean, a lot of great things have happened from your office. So can you just share a moment or an experience that's happened in the last year and just kind of share with the folks what that looks like for you? One of those things, or maybe multiple things, but whatever that looks like.
Yeah, this year, you're right, was difficult for the youth office. Obviously, we were all geared up and getting ready to go. We'd had a number of signups for our higher ground and for Steubenville and all these different retreats in March already. Like early signups, we were already, getting past the goals that we had. and we're anticipating a great summer, and it kind of got pulled out from underneath our feet, which was pretty hard and challenging to kind of turn those events into turning that into nothing. But what I will say is that the year before was an incredible opportunity for building relationships with young people. Our higher ground is just such a unique opportunity for our upperclassmen to go and be a part of a Christian community. And my experience, this was of course over a year ago now, but my experience in those 2 weeks that I did higher ground was that this is an incredible experience for young people. And so just looking forward to really growing that in the future.
Yeah,
So,
it's a week long.
It is.
Roughly, and one of the things that happened for like me, one of the first times I went, man, this is a week commitment. Like I'm making a week long commitment. But it's funny because it's always day 4, or I think it's day 4, and then it's like all these kids are uncomfortable and they're like staring at each other like, what are you doing? Should we actually, and they're like holding hands and like
Absolutely.
big signs of the cross like. And then the connections that they're making across the diocese, and we hear it's like, what is that show? Where they put people together. I think we have a couple here in the office that met.
Oh, like the dating game or something like that.
Yeah, like this is how
We
people
do.
meet, which is
Yep.
fine because they're meeting,
They're
with
meeting.
Christ in the center of their
Exactly.
relationship, which is a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Any final thoughts from you about today or what we're talking about today? And
Oh, just reaching out to the people out there across the diocese and saying, my office, call anytime. We are excited at engaging the parishes in youth ministry. My philosophy as youth ministry is that you can do youth ministry anywhere, that any parish can do great youth ministry, and we just want to be a part of supporting that in each and every parish. So if you have a desire to grow youth ministry in your parish and you need some help doing that, give me a call.
this is the man right here.
There it is.
We love it. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Corey.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
doing,
Really
doing a
good
great job. Really
Hey,
appreciate
and
you.
If you wouldn't mind handing that off to Oscar.
Yep.
Hey, were you looking to build an ark anytime soon? I know a guy.
Okay, all right. If we had $5 for every time.
Oh my gosh, that's good. Hey, so again, I know I keep seeing all these people are logging in, and it's wonderful. Continue, please share your name, what parish you're from. If you have any questions that you'd like to share with us, we'll do our best to get to them if we can. We may not be able to, but here's what we'll do. We'll look at those questions, and we'll try to get you a response. So again, please let us know that you're there by just simply in the chat bubble, just tell us who you are and what parish you're logging in from. Okay, our next guest. Oh my gosh, this lady is amazing, and I cannot wait for you to get to know, again, our Miss Mary Parlin, the editor of the West Nebraska Catholic, I'm still getting used to it, Mary. West Nebraska Register, West Nebraska Catholic. There's a big change that's happened in your office, huh?
There has been a big change in our office.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Thanks for
For 90 years,
Yeah.
we were a president in the diocese as the West Nebraska Register. And under the leadership of Bishop Anderson, we went to the West Nebraska Catholic magazine, which we're really proud of. And I know it's not the local news that everybody wanted, but it is bringing us together as a diocese, and it's giving us what Bishop likes to refer to as content evangelization.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good things in it. We hope everybody is looking at it and enjoying it as much as we are.
Yeah. Well, I know, again, so how long have you been with?
You would have to ask.
I want to ask. It's
40 years.
40 years. Oh my gosh, Mary,
Yeah,
that is
that's
so awesome.
Went through a lot of transitions.
I'm sure. Did you? What position did you start as?
I just started as a substitute typesetter,
Oh yeah.
and
So
it
did
was
you use a
just
typewriter?
part-time. No.
What does typesetter mean?
No, it's not a line of type, but we called it the Big Blue Beast.
Okay.
And we had to typeset everything, run it off, hang it on the clothesline,
Oh my gosh.
and put it through the waxer, and
Real
then
news.
oh yeah.
This is it.
So we are all computerized now, and
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, you've seen obviously the change in that, and then
Right.
here, I would have to say this is probably, again, it's one of those little milestones of moving to the magazine, but the response that we're hearing in the magazine is just incredible.
We've
right?
got some really good feedback on it. And, I think it looks good. I feel it is good.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're enjoying hearing all the stories from different people in the diocese.
Sure. Sure, it's really neat to see some of those features. Like those
Right.
feature articles are great, and we have a magazine coming out pretty soon, right? When's our next issue?
We're working on the 4th edition, which will be the November-December,
Okay,
but it comes out the end of October.
end of October, so November, December. And we all know that, of course, Bishop Hannafeld's article is probably the #1 read article. But what's that next best thing? Because I know that one of the things is the recipes have been popular.
The recipes have been popular, but I think the faith stories
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the different people in the diocese and how
Yeah.
they're going through their journey.
Sure.
I think that connects a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps them to know if they're in that area, or if they see that
Right.
person, or they can make a connection for themselves and how they can
Right.
how they can improve that. So over the last year, knowing that the West Nebraska Catholic is one of those big changes in your office,
Right.
but what else has been going on in your world in the last year? Anything that stands out, or is it just the magazine, or anything?
It's basically the magazine. There was a big transition there. And, our roles have changed as far as how we do things. Everybody has a schedule. And it's kind of hard to keep everybody on a schedule, but it seems to sneak up on you a lot faster.
Yeah.
And we're going, oh my gosh, okay, we're already working on November, December.
Yeah.
And here we are, just in the first part of October.
Yeah. Right.
So it does keep you on your toes, and we've got all the directors that meet along with the bishop that gives us ideas on what they'd like to see, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I know, I get to be a part of that. Sometimes I'm thinking, well, what am I going to share? Or what do I say? But as far as the meetings go, but what we've been able to really do is through the process of those of us that get to go out and travel, and of course your connections with people across
Right.
the diocese, we get to know a little bit more about these people, and we can share that. And I think that's been a great addition to what we
Yes,
do to the
it
Catholic
has.
Register, or the
Yeah,
West
you do it
Nebraska
too.
Catholic. West Nebraska Catholic. Okay. Gosh, honestly, Mary, there are so many people now joining us. It's just really exciting.
That's
to have
good.
them. Any final thoughts that you would want to share with the group?
I think people don't understand what goes on in the Chancellery office.
Okay.
And every office is important. And the Diocesan appeal helps all of them. And that is a great thing for all of us.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it is one of those things where you realize that, there are so many wonderful people across our diocese that help support what we
Right.
get to do and the way we
Right.
get to share. And again, another way of
Right.
sharing our faith through the magazine. So, Mary, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
I hope it wasn't that bad.
No,
I love
it was
spending
good.
time with you.
I suppose there'll be a joke, huh?
Well, I already said this one. Hold on a minute, I missed it. Did you think Eve ever had a date with Adam?
Okay, go on.
No, nope, just an apple.
I knew that was coming.
Okay, folks, again, I'm going to share it. As you're tuning in, is this for me?
That's for you.
Okay, so has it been my mic? I'm sorry. Well, hey, we're going to kind of work through. Hopefully we can correct that. Is this going to make a difference? Do I need to do anything? Okay, sounds like that's perfect. So now I am live with a microphone. Does it change the look at all? Okay, hold on one second, Armando. Okay, any more of you that are out there, please, as you're joining us, please let us know what parish you're logging in from in the chat, and who you are. Just let us know who you are so we can keep tabs on everybody that's joining us here today. So our next guest is Armando Chavarria. How'd I do?
Good job.
That was good.
That was great.
I've been practicing it all afternoon. No, I'm just kidding. I've been practicing it for several years. Armando and me came into the office about the same time. So I was I might have shown up earlier, but I think you were on your way here. So we've been able to, not only get to know each other, but get to know your office and what your office is doing and how your office works in the diocese. So why don't, if you wouldn't mind, tell us what office you hold and what you do there.
Well, my name is Armando. I'm probably one of the few who are not from Nebraska. I grew up in Florida, and I am the director for faith formation and evangelization. And my office supports the parishes and pastors and faith formation leaders across the diocese to encourage all their faith formation programs from, little ones all the way to adults, and definitely trying to encourage them to focus on evangelization, which is bringing people to Christ. So that's a little bit of what I do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the only thing that anybody in Nebraska cares about, Armando, is if you are now a Husker fan. Oh. And I know you've been to a game.
Yes, I have once.
And?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. They won, actually.
Yeah. See, and I think we all had made the comment that you had to now go to every game until they actually lose.
Good luck, Charm. So if you guys have tickets, I'm willing to take some.
Wait a minute. No, give them to me. I'm just kidding. Whoever goes. All right. So, I think that the key to your office is just to know that parishes have you to fall back on, right? And I know that you've done a ton of work with, you've done retreats across the diocese. I know you've done a lot of work with our DREs. I know you've done a lot of things on the online world, like with specifically through, your website and the page. Can you share a little bit about that? And maybe those that haven't heard about it yet, maybe they could go check it out. Is that appropriate?
Yeah, that's great. Well, so part of my ministry is that I do travel, and you have to build relationships. So you have to build this personal rapport with people. But, due to COVID, I'm sure all of us are kind of going through this process where we're limited in the amount of travels we can do. So I've kind of focused on taking that type of missionary mentality online. So we've developed a e-catechist. So you can visit the website at gidiocese-ofe.org, and you'll find a lot of resources on there. And it's been great to be able to still connect with faith formation leaders across the diocese through go-to meetings and that type of thing. So it's been kind of more of an online presence now due to our circumstance, but it might stay kind of similar when we move forward.
Yeah. Well, and it is that going out, right? The key is, and not everybody knows that, right? Because again, for your office and very similar to mine, it just depends on who I make the appointment with as you're going out to that specific town or that parish. And so oftentimes it isn't always at a mass where you would see a majority of people. And so I can, one of the things to know is that when we're meeting with a smaller group of people at a parish, it's sometimes very specific, right? It's to how can we help you in those categories? And I know for me, the Office of Stewardship is new to the diocese. It was something that the bishop wanted to do. But the idea that, more and more people are now calling on us. And that's really, that's the beautiful part about it. And it just takes a lot to make that work and a lot of effort, not only here, right, in the work that we do, but also, what we ask people to do in the parishes, like what their responsibilities are. So that's a big deal. What's anything over the last year? And again, we can always point to COVID, and I think you mentioned that, but how about any other thing in the last year where your office or anything that you've done or something that stands out to you in the course of the last year that you really want to reflect on or share?
Well, I think the main thing is I'm so impressed how people have become very creative during this time, because we're kind of limited to where we can go, the people that we can see. So I'm really continuing to encourage people to be creative in how they build their faith, whether it be at home or, just new ways to find ways to grow in their faith. So I definitely encourage people to continue doing that, because that's what I've seen in the last year, the last 7 months or so. People would be very creative in doing that.
Yeah. So do you have some retreats in the future? Or you got anything coming?
Well, we did have 2 big events planned. I think we're going to postpone it till the spring. So like everything else, everything's been postponed. So we're still working on what we can.
So we go to a campground and we tent 6 feet apart, and we just meet around a fire somewhere.
Well,
possible.
Well, let's see. Camp Kamika.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Well, listen. So, final thoughts. Anything from that you'd like to just share with the people of the diocese?
Just to continue to have faith and have hope. I know this is difficult times here, but everyone there is doing so well and keeping the faith, and just continue to just trust in God and get through this time.
Yeah. Well, Armando, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate you coming in, and I didn't see another guest out there, so I'm not sure what we got, but grateful to spend time with you today. Thanks for supporting this, and okay, we got a duo coming in, so we'll see them soon. Go ahead.
Well, you normally have a joke, but I've got a joke for you.
Okay, good. I'll take it because I got only one more joke, and I'm gonna.
Oh, good. I'll give you another.
All right, thanks.
So, do you know why Jonah found the ocean suspicious?
I do not.
Because he found it very fishy.
Thank you, Armando Chavarria. Thank you for joining us. Okay, we have a duo coming in. Hold on, before we start that, I just want to again mention, if you are online with us right now, please let us know by chat in the chat bubble who you are and what parish you are dialing in from. Okay, so up next, we have the dynamic duo of Mike Kuby and Cheryl Jones joining us. So let's come on in, you guys. Oh, you get to sit by me. And you guys are going to have to share that mic. Is that okay? Sure. How are you? Good. Have you been watching out front? Sure. Both of you just came from Life Change. One of you got to pick that up. Just take it. Mike, you can start. That's okay. So you guys just came from Life Chain. Yes. What was the turnout like?
I think it was pretty good. We had a lot
You
of
got to go
interest.
close. You got to go close.
A lot of interest and excitement, and I think this year is because of the election. I think there's a lot more activities and interest in our pro-life activities. So it's always good to see people out there honking horns, waving hands, affirmative.
No violence.
Sure,
in there?
sure. There is always somebody.
There was a couple.
No, there's always somebody with.
They
kind
saw
of
you and they're like,
insulting.
oh.
You know, they're out there. We all know that.
Sure.
You know, they're out there in that. So yeah, it's been great.
So let me start with you, since you have the mic. It just makes sense. Tell me a little bit. So again, it's Mike Kuby, but tell us what your office is, what you do, anything you want to share about your office and what exactly you do for the
Corey.
diocese. Go ahead. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
It's just an honor and privilege to serve as a director of the pro-life office in the Diocese of Grand Island. Bishop asked me to serve, and I learned a lot, and it's so exciting to serve with our bishop, because maybe some of you don't know, Archbishop Hannafeld was the Archdiocese of Omaha pro-life director in Omaha. He's been in the trenches, and he knows what it's like, and he sees the good and the evil that's out there with the abortion issues and things, and so he's such a good mentor and guidance for me and shepherding us. And before I get off of Bishop Hannafeld, I just want to state that, he issued a statement last week, October 1st, and it's on Respect Life. It's a beautiful statement. We'll get it on our webpage and post it. I think it's already on Facebook and on our webpage. It's about this upcoming election and how important it is that we have clear consciences about what we're doing, why we're doing, and be informed as good Catholic voters. There's so many issues out there that we hear on the networks, the social justice issues. Even good Catholics need to know the difference between what's important as far as the social justice issues. I'm rambling on here, Corey. Can I continue on with that statement?
I'll give you one more second.
Okay.
You just can't cut into Bishop's time, so go ahead.
Yeah,
You're fine, though.
But just the social justice issues, we always talk about poverty and immigration, and they're all important. But what the bishops are saying is that abortion is a preeminent priority as far as our society is concerned, and this election especially. We need to know what our candidates stand for as far as being pro-life and pro-choice. We need to know who the abortion candidates are. We need to know who the pro-life candidates are. So abortion is a preeminent issue because it impacts so many in our society. There's 60 million babies die each year. And also there's families being impacted, and it's a natural fabric of our natural life that's really, we die. We are killed because of that. It's just against moral law. So I just wanted to state that. It's so important for us to understand that the preeminent issue this year for the upcoming election is abortion.
Well, and I would agree with you. And I think that what people need to tune into is to read the bishop's article.
Right.
I think it's wonderful,
Right.
well written, and way to go. So I'll ask you to hand the mic off here to this ray of sunshine. Here's how it works, right? I come in, I get here roughly 8 a.m. That's about start time for the office. And then I just hear a little bit of humming, maybe some singing. It just depends. And it's this lovely lady here, Cheryl Jones. She's taken over the spot at the front of the front of our office as our receptionist to greet people, and who wouldn't want to be greeted by this lovely face. So Cheryl, tell us a little bit about what you do. Tell us about your office and how you support this crazy guy standing next to you.
I'm Cheryl Jones, and I am the receptionist at the front desk. So I am fortunate that I get to meet everybody before anybody else does. I'm the first person that they come in contact with. So I hope I'm always giving a good impression. And I really do enjoy being able to work with everybody. I'm a people person, and that is my love. I am also a librarian. We have a great library, so if there's anything you need, call in. And I help with the purchasing, and then of course the pro-life. I'm pro-life administrator. So if there's anything you need in the pro-life area, make sure and call in.
Yeah, go ahead. No, we just keep trying to find more things for you to do. It's like, yeah, like what you just said. I'm like, my word, lady, you're doing a lot of stuff. But it is, and it's that reception on the call, because you can imagine we have everybody you can imagine calling into this office for any significant reason. A very memorable moment for me was a gentleman that walked in right as the outbreak has started. Do you remember this guy that came in? And he was scary is the word that she used. And it was just one of those moments. And I walked up front and I'm like, Cheryl, get out of here. Like, they need you in the back, right?
I'm looking and I'm like, what?
But very real though. I mean, again, I know he was comforted when he walked in. He definitely needed help, and we found the help that we could for him. But again, it does mean a lot for you, the position that you hold, the things that you do in terms of answering the phone or greeting people as they enter the building.
Thank you.
Again, all those things are necessary. Every dollar that we raise in this appeal goes into supporting all of those things that make us the diocese that we are, right? We're a very, open and warm, welcoming
Team.
place. Team.
Yay, team.
Yay, team. We have a lot of fun here. So anything in closing that you would like to share as far as the appeal, how that goes, and anything to say to the people?
That the pro-life mission is very important. And there's a couple very neat things coming up. The Walking with Mothers in Need is a really neat program, and the Respect Life program. So pro-life coordinators, share that information with your parishes, and if they haven't, then go ahead and ask them about it. So
Okay, great. Thank you. Anything in closing, Mike?
Yeah.
And
sure.
keep it brief. Okay, we're moving on. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say gratitude to Cheryl. I'm a volunteer, and Cheryl does a lot of work for us, so it's really great. I'm grateful for her presence here in this report. She's such a happy person to be around, and so grateful for her. And also gratitude for our pro-life coordinators. All our parishes have coordinators, generally speaking, that we have information that we have share with them. We get information from the Nebraska Catholic Conference. We get information from the USCCB, the Catholic bishops in D.C., and also from our Office of Bishop. We typically have a pro-life newsletter. Notes go out every 2 weeks. We send those out to the coordinators. So it's important that I think our office mostly is kind of a conduit of information sharing. Get the word out, let people know about the issues and events, and also just in final closing, Corey, if I would say, we have a plan that we work on, and there's 4 pillars: prayer, pastoral care, public education, which Cheryl and I do, kind of outreach, then pastoral care. Cheryl mentioned Walking with Moms in Needs, Project Rachel, reaching out to those that need help, love, and mercy. So we always strive prayer as the fundamental thing as far as getting respect down to the lowest level as far as the mothers in need, et cetera. So I just love what I'm doing. It's really a lot of passion from my heart for the job, and I love our bishop.
Thank you, guys. Well,
Any joke?
yeah, I have a joke for, or do you have a joke for me?
No.
Okay. You know how Moses starts his morning?
With a cup of coffee.
He brews a pot of coffee.
I got half right.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. It's just fun to have you here. You bet. Hey, and just to let you know, team here, we are good. We're going to be fine as we get closer to the kickoff, as long as we get our guests in. So, who do we have next? Greg Fisher is coming up. Okay, so if you are out there, let us know that you are there. Sign in to the chat bubble. Let us know your name and what parish you're calling from. And our next guest is Mr. Greg Fisher. There's a warm round of applause. You can hear all the people. And I'm going to move the chair where I need it. There you go. Okay. Yep. Get you close to me. How you doing?
Doing good.
Happy Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely.
All right. So Greg came on board. You've been here a couple years now, I think. Just over 2 years. Just over 2 years. Yep. And director of operations and human resources.
Correct.
So, man, let me tell you something. It was awesome. Your hire date was one of those days that I was longing to hear about. You know.
We work on a lot of projects together, and it's been great so far.
Yeah. There are so many little details that have come in where I've been able to just kind of go to Greg, and really, I think a lot of us do. And it isn't always like, hey, can you help me hang something or fix this or that? But you are also in that category. You do help with a lot of things. But the key is that we've been able to get a lot of things accomplished in regard to even something as what becomes a little more in detail with like the diocesan appeal goal for our parishes and the way we've been able to rework that. Would you agree?
Yeah, in the last couple of years, Corey and I have worked together working on parish goals, just improving the whole process, trying to engage people more. Some of the other things I do for the Chancellery office, we've been able to upgrade our IT in the last year or so.
Thank you, Catholic Extension, right?
Absolutely.
Huge supporter of that.
Yeah, we got a nice grant from Catholic Extension that helped pay for new servers. We upgrade our PCs. Some of our PCs were 10 years old, so I had an opportunity to work on those projects in the last year, and I took over the Microsoft 365 from Corey that got that started.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you very much.
He had more time to work on stewardship type of stuff. So,
yeah, no, and this is it, right? I mean, it's one of those things where I had come in, a year or so before Greg, but you come in and it's obviously, in order for things to stay current, it's a lot of work, right? It doesn't
absolutely.
just happen. And like this idea where I know Greg was asking some of the computer specialists, like, well, how many more updates can I get out of this machine? And it's like, none. They won't support that computer in 3 months. So you got to figure out a solution for that, right?
right.
And I, again, it's just like, your work doesn't go unnoticed. I mean, he does so much for us, like, in the HR department and keeping that up. What is something that's a highlight for you in the last year that stands out that you've been able to help out with?
Really, to me, it's, some of my talents and skills. I was an engineer for 20 years, felt a call from God to come work for the church. That was a huge leap of faith, trust me. Yeah. And it's been very rewarding. But with that, I brought some skills of technology, and I think the church can use an improvement in technology. And so I've been able to work with Corey on, improving our database. We're working with Mary and the West Nebraska Catholic to combine our database, so we have the same mailing list, and it's just a lot of different technology issues that I've really enjoyed working through. It's been fun. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, we both come from the corporate world, so we will sometimes sit around and talk about how much faster things are there.
It's a little different.
Hey, we're supposed to slow down. I think God wants us to stop and recognize each other's gifts and to do with it. Oh, somebody's saying, awesome to see Greg Fisher.
Hey, yeah,
you have a fan, Greg. I mean, I haven't seen one of those yet. Let me read through all these. No, and I think you were touching on the idea that with like the database, to take our database, that's is something that my office was able to put together and make possible, and honestly, then all the details that go behind that, it's a day-to-day process. I mean, you have to work on this stuff all the time, and I think the key is that we're able to communicate in a very real way that from the bishop's office, he knows who those people are.
Absolutely.
And I want to just, again, on one other thing, and maybe you can share a little bit about this, but you also have helped with your wife, Angie, by the way, the dynamic team here, Angie and Greg Fisher, but you've been able to coordinate the idea of putting together the new website for the diocese, and you want to be able to provide that for other parishes, and I know there's a lot out there that are asking that question.
Right. We did. It was a little less than a year ago. We upgraded our website to eCatholic's platform. Very easy to use. We've talked to a couple parishes. A couple parishes have made that transition to eCatholic. That was a fun, exciting project that I got to work on with my wife, Angie. There's just a lot of potential out there. And with COVID, I know we've seen a lot of parishes step up with Facebook Live, online giving. All this stuff is starting to really become more popular because of COVID. But hey, give me a call if you have any technological questions, websites, that type of stuff. More than willing to help.
Yeah, I think there's just so many times where, you might feel like maybe that you don't know where to go or where to turn. And I would offer the same thing as it relates to things around, the database and stuff. But I guess, ultimately, I think you have to reach out to Greg. He is always available, and know that that's what we're here for, right? I mean, we want to continue to send the message that we're here to help answer questions, or maybe just get as much information as we can back to you that'll help them with their problem that they may be facing.
Absolutely. You bet.
Okay. I see somebody.
Okay.
I don't know. No, you're fine. You're fine. I don't know. Are you coming in? Okay, great. All right. So we get to meet Greg's better half. She'll be on her way here in just a minute. But Greg,
That's right.
finally, any final words that you want to say to the folks in the diocese?
I just appreciate all the donors out there that we're really trying hard to breathe new life in this diocese. And I think you'll see that today with different people talking about their offices. There's a reason why I'm here. There's a reason why Corey's here. And we're all behind Bishop to just move this diocese forward. And it's all about the future. Where are we going with this thing?
Yeah.
So,
Greg, thanks.
thank you for helping us do that.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, brother. Good to see you. Okay. All right. Log in. Let us know if you're there. We have our next guest. Come on in here, Angie. I'm so excited to see you today. Remember to log in. Let us know if you're here. Also, what parish you're from. I'd love to hear that. Angie Fisher, our Director of Communications.
Yes.
And the Bishop's assistant.
Yes.
Right? To
Yeah.
help with, he's never doing anything. I mean, I'm still wondering what you're up to over there in your office.
Yeah, there's once in a while, there's some stuff to do, but
Angie, thank you for being here. Seriously. thanks
yeah,
for taking the
no,
time.
this is not my favorite thing, but
No, it's not, and I'm so glad. I'm waiting for one other face around the corner. I don't know if I'm going to see her today, but I just want to say. So, tell us a little bit about the Director of Communications. I know you're in a lot of different things in the office. So, what are some of those things that you can share with the folks?
well, basically, I am Bishop Hannefeld's secretary, so a lot of my job just is phone stuff, but also scheduling his calendar, scheduling confirmations or things for him. But then also social media, website, that sort of stuff, communication with the priests, and just overall communication with the diocese.
And when we started, let's see, what was the number of Facebook users or Facebook followers when we started?
I believe
You can't them on a hand or two.
183, something like that.
Yeah. And now, right?
Yeah, and we are up to over 2,000 now.
Over
So we're
2,000.
trying to build the social media.
We are trying to
with our
build it. So, I mean,
diocese,
again,
yeah.
I would tell you this, right? I would say this. When we started, we would have meetings and we would talk about, well, why would you get on our page? I mean, wasn't
Yeah,
that true?
yeah,
Like,
right,
why
yeah.
would you log in? Whereas today, I mean, it's a daily message. I mean, there's something going on daily. So,
Yeah.
again, it's whether it's to promote this event and to know that this event existed today, or to talk about anything like out of the different offices, the different events that they might have coming up, and or just like daily reflection. So I would encourage you to please join our Facebook. If you're not already there, share it, right?
Right, yeah. No, we'd love to have more followers and people knowing what is going on within the diocese. That's our whole goal.
More
yeah.
videos of Bishop.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my
that
hope.
would be great.
Let's just videotape him every day. He loves the camera. He's such a camera guy. He's on his way in, folks. I'm telling you what, the star of the show is on his way in. But I would just say anything in the last year that stands out for you, for your office.
Well, I think definitely in the last year when I think you guys touched a little bit on it with Greg, the website, getting that over with eCatholic, because when COVID hit and we needed to, televise the masses and stuff, that was huge, getting that new website implemented. So, yeah.
Yeah. So again, if you need help with that, also you help out with the West Nebraska Catholic and you do work in that. And again, just so everybody knows, there's just a lot of stuff going on around here. And I think it's important for
there
people
is.
to know. And it's just really wonderful. Again, if you haven't been able to meet Angie, well, you got to meet her virtually today. I'm sure there's a million shout outs to her because she's so popular out there. But I just want to say, any closing statements you want to make to the diocese?
Just that it's a joy to work here. It really is, especially for Bishop Hannafelt, and yeah, we just want to be more of a presence, and we want people to know what's going on here. So
Yeah, I know I've talked to a few parishes in the last, just in the last month even, but it's like I'll talk to a new secretary and I'll say, hey, reach out to Angie for this question, or reach out to Jean Ann for that question, or Kathy if it's something to do with as the chancellor. So, Again, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for all you do for us.
Yes,
It
you
was
will.
fun.
Thanks.
I don't have a joke. I ran out of jokes. I didn't know how many I should have. I could tell you one I've already told before. Thanks, Angie. Thanks, Angie. Oh, yeah. Okay, so listen, we got time. So to all the folks here with Pax Christi, we have time. I'm going to make time. I want to bring out, can I bring out both guests, both Kathy and Rena? If you could come in, that'd be wonderful. I saw Rena's out there. There we go. Oh, we need another chair. Hold on. A chair's coming. Come on in here, Kathy. Get close. How's your Sunday going?
It's wonderful.
Grab that microphone.
That's why I'm dressed down today, because I was doing a real Sunday and I was at the Pro-Life
Pro-Life walk?
March for Life
And
in
that was,
St. Paul.
and how did it go there?
Wonderful. We got 3 rosaries done and a lot of positive cars going by, honking and waving. And
Yay.
so I was excited.
So will you tell us and tell the people here that are all joining us? I mean, okay, Kathy Hahn, but tell us, you're the chancellor. What does that mean?
That
Help us
means
understand.
I'm supposed to be just an archivist.
Okay.
That's probably this much of my job. So it's anything to do with canon law. So people that want to call in and ask baptism questions, or a priest needs a dispensation for a wedding, or we want to buy or sell some properties, I would take care of the law and sections of it. I also work in the tribunal, which is where I started first, and probably is my greatest love because it's getting people back to the sacraments. And working for the diocese, it's all about the salvation of souls.
And how long have you been here?
Gosh, I think I started when I was 12. No, I've been here since 1999,
Okay.
so a long time.
Okay, a long time. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And sitting next to her is Miss Rena Huntwork.
Hello.
Hello. Tell us about what you do, your title. What do you do, Rena?
I'm a marriage tribunal advocate.
Okay.
So if people petition to have their marriage annulled, I guess is the term that everyone is familiar with, I'm here to help them start the process and just kind of help them along the way and hope for some spiritual healing.
Yeah, good. Yeah, well, and you're like my little sisters, how it kind of goes down.
Yes.
You're
Yep.
not very nice to me. That's how it works.
The rubber bands around your phone,
Yeah,
is that a problem?
That's right. It's fine. Couldn't answer my phone. Couldn't use the mouse on my desk, but that's okay. Well, so listen, anything that you want to share, Rena, like as far as, I know you can't share about your office. Obviously, that's something that's kept, very confidential. But just like, what does it feel as far as maybe sharing with the people in the diocese, to know that you're supported through the appeal, how that all works? What is that like for you?
Oh, it's just a wonderful place to work. We just come in every day. We can pray together. We support each other. If we have a bad day, absolutely everybody has your back. We pray for everyone in the diocese. It's just a beautiful place to be.
Yeah. So, Kathy, I'd ask you the same question. Grab that mic. Like for you, over the course of the couple of years that you've been here.
Yeah.
So, what is it like? I mean, we've had amazing support this year. We're about to reveal the number for the
Yes.
2019 Diocesan Appeal. So, what is it like for
Well,
you?
I think it's so exciting because especially with the things that happened this year with COVID and everything else, you are so dynamic and have brought such new life to this diocese. I just told somebody the other day I like to be able to sit back once in a while and reflect on all the new life coming into the church through you and Angie and Greg and Bishop building up his team and not just having we old folks, the history's great, but that he can build up his own team now to take care and continue on. And for such a small staffed chancery, it's amazing the great things that we can do. And just so appreciative to everyone who's donated.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you both for coming in and saying hello. And I don't have a joke for you, so I'm very sorry about that. It makes me sad. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and maybe we'll see you at the closing if you're going to be here. Okay, great. Fist bump, Rena, I gave you that. All right, we have another guest. It's going to work, so let's bring in Miss Beth Height. It's actually Beth Height, and then you're going to... Kozashek. See, I just don't... I want to get it right. I feel like I've known it, but anyway. How are
It's
you?
not easy. Good. I'm great.
Did you
Thanks.
just get here?
I just got here. We had a full day with our confirmation students at St. Labori today.
That's
so.
right. So
Yep.
you told me that, and that went well today?
Yes, very good.
Good.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what Beth does for the Chancery office and for our diocese. So many things, so please.
Well, I direct the Office of Child Protection, and so I'm in charge of ministries both for outreach for victims of abuse and also working on programming for prevention of abuse and promotion of right relationships.
Okay. And so, tell me a little bit about what's happened in the last year. Just give us a little rundown of some of the different things that you've done or the different ways that you've supported so many across our diocese.
Super. Well, we have started a new program with the other dioceses in Nebraska to offer a healing retreat for men and a healing retreat for women. So we had last August a healing retreat for women, which was the first. We had one scheduled for men, which was interrupted by COVID, but it will be coming up here in March. We're offering it again. And so that's one of the new things that we're doing. And then we had some COVID related things that we're doing now. On the Diocesan website, we have some information for parents to assist them with helping get their kids through school, with challenges that may come up with at home, with having everybody home during COVID, or just any other kinds of issues. And then we opened up our victim assistance ministry line to also to parents if they are wanting help finding more resources for getting through the pandemic. And so that is an option also. And so our 800 number for that is 1-800-652-2229. And with our victim assistance line, I also want to mention that we welcome Leticia Guerrero, who's now taking calls in Spanish on that line. And so she's been a great addition for that victim outreach.
Yeah, and it is such an important thing. I don't know that we truly understand what the impact of COVID and the isolation piece and different things. You know, I have a college student and a high school student. My wife's a teacher. And so, they're experiencing it. So many people are experiencing it in different ways. And so we're just grateful to have you, to be here on staff. What is it like? I mean, if you could share something with the folks that are tuning in today or those that might listen later, what do you feel about, just to share with them your experience of the support we get through the appeal in your office? What is that like for you?
Well, I think it's amazing to have the support from parishes for the diocesan programs. And really, we are here to serve you. So you are the Diocese of Grand Island, and we are your staff. We're here to serve you. And so it just helps us to help you better and just to provide whatever we can to help our parishes thrive and to help individuals thrive throughout our diocese.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all that you do. It's a
Thank you.
blessing. Thanks for spending time with me today.
Sure.
All right. And we are getting ready to announce the number for the
Awesome.
2019 Diocesan Appeal. So I'll let you go and we'll bring in our next guest.
Okay, sounds great.
Thank you very much. Okay. And he's making his way in. It is Bishop Joseph Hannafelt. Bishop, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's good to be here.
Well, hey, we're just slightly behind, so that's good, right? I mean, that's possibly going to happen. We got to meet a lot of our staff and those that support your office and what you do for the diocese and how that looks. So if we can, before we actually officially jump into numbers and what the 2019 appeal, I guess I would just ask you maybe a similar thing. Anything that stands out for you as you've been around the diocese over the course of the last year, things that, anything you have in reflection of what it feels like when you're out there, knowing even this situation with COVID and how people are still responding so well and supporting our offices and what they do.
Yeah, I'd say that one of the things that always impresses me is the energy and the faith of our Diocesan Pastoral Council. And these are 4 lay people and a priest from each of the 4 deaneries. And when we meet, there's such a passion in their hearts. And they come from every corner of our diocese, 4 from each deanery. And the way in which they express this desire for leadership and direction is just kind of ignites something in me. And it's really exciting and when I go out and see these people in various parishes, but especially when we gather as the Diocesan Pastoral Council, there's so many things that they're excited about, which in turn excites me even more.
Yeah. I mean, it really has been... It's been an interesting year and a very interesting few months. I mean, obviously, I think that's the That's the obvious point here. Well, listen, we are ready now to kick off this appeal.
Great.
What we're going to do, Bishop, as you know, is I want to share the results of the 2019 appeal. So we'll get into that. I'm going to let you reveal the current number. You have that number in front of you. I'll let you get to that. I think that's there. Anyway, we'll get to that. But before we do that, what I'd like you to do, if you would, is open us in prayer for this great event. So here we are, kicking off the 2019 Bishops Diocesan Appeal virtual celebration, and it is a celebration, and we get to celebrate that with you. So grateful for that.
Let's pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen. Father, we praise you and thank you for all that we have received, our life, and our health, and our faith. We honor you, and we praise you for your bounty in our lives and all our blessings. Rejoice in the community of faith that we are across this great diocese. We lift up to you all who are in need of healing and consolation and hope this day. Bring, Lord, an ever greater vitality to your church. Renew us in mind and body and spirit. Accompany us with your loving providence so that in all things we might return to you honor and glory and praise. Help us to abide in your favor and allow us to receive with gratitude all that comes to us from your fatherly care. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
All right. Well, so really quick, Bishop, I'd just like to start off this celebration. I want to just say that, there has been an amazing response to this appeal.
Indeed.
I mean, we have had a couple years where we've kind of done a revamp. You'll notice on either end of the table we have the posters for both the receive appeal that we're currently in, and then we also have the new appeal that we'll be kicking off, and we'll do that at the 4:30 hour, so we'll get to that. But as we go back and we reflect, I mean, it's like, I remember coming in and we talked about how are we going to make this thing, what it is and what are we going to do about it. And, I just went to work and looking out how's everybody else doing it, right? I mean, what do we need to do? And I think the number one thing we needed to do is we needed to get to know who the people were. Let me just really quick, if I could, Bishop, I just want to share, one of the things that goes on in an appeal would be that you recognize donors at a different level, right? So you wouldn't just say, well, there's just a blanket, there's so many donors. You would actually give them the opportunity to give at different levels. And so we introduced the Bishop's Circle last year, and it had a great response. But I just want to say, in the different categories, down at our custodian of the plains, that's any gift from $50 to $250. We had 1,796 gifts at that level.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's a really big deal. Like, that's almost as many donors. That's getting up to what we had in terms of donors last year. And then as it goes up from the 250 to 500 mark, 686 donors. Sowers of Hope at 463 donors there. The Cultivators of the Faith, that's the $1,000 to $2,500 donor, 240 donors at that level last year, right? Then we had our Harvesters of Charity, 11 donors, that's $2,500 to $5,000. Guardian of the Herd, that's $5,000 to $10,000, Bishop. That's 15 donors gave at that level.
Isn't that beautiful? That's
and
great.
then finally, our Protectors of the Rock, the $10,000 to $50,000, we had 3 donors at that level.
That's great.
It's
a beautiful response, and it shows the hearts, what's in people's hearts for the church in our diocese, and giving those options really invites them to choose that level and where their heart's at. So it's a beautiful testimony of faith.
Yeah. And again, so next year our intent is, we go into this new appeal, our intent is even, if those donors wish to, we would actually even put them in the list. And the main reason for that is that what we get to know about donors is that they want to participate in a very real way. They want to be a part of it. They're okay saying, not only am I Catholic, not only do I belong to the Diocese of Grand Island, but I also, I really support it in a way I want others to be aware of. That's okay.
Right. I think it's another way in which we give people the opportunity just to simply say that we're behind you. And I feel that support, and it's marvelous. So thank you all you donors, for that generosity.
Yeah. Well, listen, I want to leave it to you with an opening statement. I would just like maybe you kick off this as we share a little bit of information along the way. We still got a little bit of time here to do so. So I'll let you open up with the statement.
Last year at this time, we were kicking off the appeal that we're just wrapping up here today. And we talked about having this celebration. I was really looking forward to that, a chance to be in the same room with all of you. And I think that would really have been fun today. We're trying to do that as best as we can in this way. But we make the most of what we have. And thanks again to Pastor Christie Multimedia for helping us still connect today and carry out that idea of celebrating this appeal. I'm really filled with gratitude for the donors across this diocese, people who will sometimes write in and send a comment along with what's been going on in their life and still make a donation. And it's really becomes a prayer intention for me when I see the intentions that they ask for. But it gives me great hope as well in my desire to grow our diocese and to bring about an even greater vitality. And so I think we're all in this together. Many hands make light the work, and I think our appeal this year is a sign of how many want their hands to be a part of the work of this diocese. So I'd say that's really the heart of it for me, a deep gratitude for the goodness of the people of this diocese.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm going to miss?
What's that?
Every year we do the diocesan appeal, whatever you call it.
Trip.
The road trip.
The road trip.
Yeah. The first year we had a lot more locations. Last year we dwindled that down. And this year we've condensed it into this afternoon. So that's going to be good. And, I think I'm hearing from the people too, right? Not only from pastors, but from people. And if we can use technology to get out the message, to share the things, and we have more on that as we get to the 4:30 hour. But again, I'm just saying, it's the idea that, when we were out there, the response from people is great. So that doesn't slow us down from being on the road. I think you've put a few miles on your car this year, probably.
Indeed.
Yeah. I think you set the record for the lowest number of miles, maybe that first part of COVID.
In April, it was the lowest month I've ever had.
And
so
what was that number? Do you remember?
Under 1,000 miles.
Under 1,000 miles. What was he going to do? I think he was driving himself crazy.
I'm back at it, though. Last month, September, was over 3,700.
There we go. That's what I'd like to hear, Bishop. You love to drive that car. Well, I can't let this go any further. We have to do something right now before we still haven't given the number out, right?
Okay.
We still haven't said anything. Hold on one second here. I got something we need to do. Well, let me just, introduce this. So we have the parish incentive program, okay? The parish incentive program, and this was about, we set up a program for for all the parishes in the diocese, and that was based on their goal. And what we were able to do this last year was we were able to drop the goal, and we were able to drop every parish's goal for this last appeal. The number we were looking to get was 1.150. That was the 1,150,000. That was the goal that we had set for this year. But what we did is we said to the parishes, okay, we want to create an incentive, right? And that incentive is this, and I tell you what, I am getting excited. I have two reasons to use my confetti gun, and I'm getting ready to use it for one. But the next one is, at the end of this, when we hit the 5 o'clock hour, everybody, please stay tuned in, because at 5 o'clock, Bishop will draw 10 parishes out of our Wheel of Fun, and 10 parishes will win a $500 cash gift to use any way they wish. This is a gift. This is an appreciation back from the appeal, back to the parishes, and especially those that perform. So here's what it looked like. We had different tier levels, and in tier 1, that was every parish that exceeded their diocesan appeal goal by 20%. They exceeded their goal by 20%. We had 17 parishes, Bishop.
Isn't that awesome?
That exceeded their goal.
I was so inspired by that.
By 20%. Yeah. Not just reach the goal, they exceeded it by 20%. St. Mary's Parish in Mullins, Sacred Heart Parish in Baird, St. Patrick's Parish Paxton, St. Therese Parish in Erickson, St. John the Evangelist, Stapleton, Sacred Heart Parish in Burwell, Nativity of the Blessed Virgin Mary Parish, Harrison, St. Gabriel's Parish, Hazard, Our Lady of Perpetual Help in Ord, St. Nicholas Parish in Valentine, Immaculate Conception in Rushville, St. Labore's Parish in St. Labore, St. Mary's Parish in Nenzel, Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary in Sargent, St. Pius X Parish in Ainsworth, St. Luke's Parish in Ogallala, and St. Josaphat's Parish in Loop City. 17 parishes, Bishop. So part of that is this. We have our wheel. I'm going to fill it up now. I'll let you hold this for me so that it doesn't take off on me. If you'll hold it right there. Okay, here's our Tier 1 parishes. These are all the incentive tickets that were turned in from our first tier parishes. And we'll close up the gates so that they don't escape. And I think what we'll do a couple different times, Bishop, is we'll just spin those around. So again, knowing these are all those parishes in that first tier. Now at 5 o'clock, we will start to draw these parishes that are currently in the wheel. They get to be a part of all 10 of the drawings. So because they reach that top tier, the tier 1, they'll get to be on every one of the drawings. And so for 10 drawings, each one of those parishes has an opportunity to win $500.
And I get a toy.
And you get to play with the spinner thing. What do they call that? A raffle wheel. I don't know anyway. So we'll get back to that as we get to that. So I think what the time is it's time to reveal. You can share those numbers however you wish, but when you hit the 2019 number, I've got a little surprise for us. So you tell me how you're going to do that. You're going to just tell what our current number is?
I don't know how much time, but I can do just the end, or I can do the comparison, or however.
I think you can do the comparison, but when you're ready to reveal that number, let me know. I've got a little surprise.
Oh dear. Okay. There's always a surprise with Corey, I must say. So, our goal this year we brought down to $1,150,000, and last year we raised a total of $993,000, just short of $1 million. This year we've gone over $1 million. We've gone over $1,100,000, and so we are actually at 99% of the goal. We have come so close this year to actually making this goal, which is the first time in a long time, and it's the highest it's been. So with no further ado, our increase giving for this year appeal was $144,000 more than last year, for a grand total of $1,135,062. An amazing actual total this year.
Awesome.
We're 15,000 short. So we're there. And I'm so proud of everyone, so proud of this man and his work and his assistant, Amy, but so grateful that all of you have joined in this effort too.
Yeah.
$1,135,000.
Well, and if it's anything like last year, I don't doubt that we will actually make that goal. We have unfulfilled pledges. Let's talk about that for a minute. You know, it's one of the things that I've learned in this work is unfulfilled pledges actually, that number can be high. So in other words, somebody, they made a pledge. They said, I'm going to give this. And there's a lot of reasons why those don't always get fulfilled. But when you look at the unfulfilled pledges, we had a total of 323 pledges. So those are people that said, I'm going to give this much, and then they're going to give it over the course of time. We only have 96 outstanding pledges, adding up to just over $12,000.
That's so low. That's beautiful.
That is a very low number. And again, it just says, we also know and we recognize there are reasons people maybe weren't able to give their gift, and we're fine with that. But the truth is that so many of them did. They followed through with their commitment, and it's just a beautiful witness.
And the other thing I want to add is that we had 182 donors, more additional donors this year than last year, which is a 5% increase in just the total number of those making a pledge and a gift to the appeal, which is a total of 3,773 donors. So 182 more have joined in this effort, and because of that, we are so much closer, literally, at our goals.
And what's so really great about that, I want to point out a parish that kind of took it to another level, okay? And everywhere that this happened, Bishop, I mean it, everywhere that it happened, and even I'm even going to point out that they didn't reach their donor goal, okay? But where I saw this happen over and over again, time and time again, with donor numbers, with their goal numbers, thermometers. Who'd have thought that a thermometer in the room? So if we could highlight the thermometer here in the room, this is from our local parish here, St. Leo's Parish. Father Don let me borrow his baby thermometer. This little thing, I don't know what it is, 8 or 9 feet tall. But you'll notice, Bishop, as you look at his thermometer, it's just really simple. He puts the goal. That's the goal that they had for this year. And look, they far exceeded that goal this year, by the way. And you'll notice that's what all the bursting out at the top of that thermometer is all about. But one other thing that they focused on is their family participation. And if you remember, as we launched this last appeal, we talked over and over again, it's about donors. It's about getting people engaged. It's about helping people to know, to come alongside of us, to be a part of something. That's what we talked about. And when you see an increase in donors like that, when you see numbers that are going up, we had a 5% increase over the previous year, 3,773 donors this year versus 3,591 the year before.
Right.
The more we focus on it, the more people are going to want to respond.
I think this example from St. Leo's is a great one. It shows us, literally shows everybody in the parish every time they come where they're at. And it's a real source of encouragement, I think. And so kudos to St. Leo's and all the parishes that have gone over their goals and those who have come so close, because this kind of thing really helps.
Oh, it really does. And those are the parishes. When I mentioned those 120% parishes, when you talk to them about what was it, obviously one step in the right direction is to talk about it. Okay, what are we doing this for? Why do we need to do it? What are the offices? How are those stories with the people in those parishes? What impact has it had when you talk about youth ministry, or you talk about faith formation, or you talk about stewardship, or how has the tribunal office assisted so many people in our parishes over and over again, right? To have you obviously driving and going and supporting in all the different ways that you support parishes, but then again, it's a really simple form of communication. Because it's a weekly reminder. When you walk into the parish, you see, well, this is how I'm doing. We see this all the time in campaigns, right? If a parish is raising funds for themselves, then they'll use something like a thermometer to tell the parish, hey, here's how far along we are. We still need to keep going. So again, I would encourage, as we have in the past, I would just continue to encourage that donor numbers are big. It's a big deal. How can we get more people to join us and participate with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going in the right direction in the last 3 years, especially. It's beautiful to see, and I'm just so proud of the commitment in this diocese to our local church. So thank you again to everyone.
So one of the interesting things was back in let's see, that would have been in June 1st. So that was 8 months into this appeal. And Amy came back from entering gifts in for the day. I believe that's something the way it went, but we were all anxiously awaiting to break that mark, right? That $1 million mark. And I'll tell you, that in itself was a victory as we look at this appeal. Just that was in 8 months into this appeal, we broke the $1 million mark. And again, it's one of those things that shows progress. It says to us, as we're the staff, that all of us that are supported by it. I might have ran around the office with a cowbell. That is possible. I think
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
You weren't in that day. Maybe, I don't know.
I think it's still ringing.
It's still ringing. It is. It is still ringing. But again, it's just a matter of sharing that. So I do want to I think it's important that we highlight in just a very simple way of saying our top 3 parishes for this year, okay? We already obviously mentioned those 17 parishes that hit over 120%, but just who were the top 3 performers in the diocese? Top 3 performers this year, St. Mary's in Mullen. That's Father Matthew Nash. He was just relocated there, right? Wasn't he? Yep, Father Nash. Sacred Heart in Baird, they came in second for the overall highest increase, Father Seepy. So thank you for Sacred Heart. And then St. Patrick's in Paxton, Father Ernest there. So I just want to say thank you to you 3 parishes. Again, to stop and recognize those that really stand out. Those are our top 3 parishes for this year. So grateful for all the hard work that they put into that.
Indeed. Thank you to all of you who have gone over these top 3. We're just sort of saluting in this way, just to thank them in a particular way. So that's really great, you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So let's also talk about the other tier levels. So we have our tier 2 parishes. These are going to be all of our parishes, Bishop, that they reached 100% of their goal and they reached 100% of their donor goal. Okay, so that was the requirement for tier 2. We'll add tier 2 into our happy toy over here. We'll add them in, though, after we do the first 4 drawings.
Sure.
So the tier 2 parishes get to be a part of the next 6 drawings, okay? But let's run through those because, again, there's no better way than recognizing these parishes that did such a great job. So all of our tier 2 parishes, let's start with Blessed Sacrament Parish in Grand Island, Our Lady of Good Counsel Parish in Gothenburg, St. Leo's Parish here in Grand Island, St. Thomas of Canterbury in Thedford, St. Patrick's Parish in Shadron, All Souls Parish in Bridgeport, St. Joseph's Parish in Broken Bow, St. Mary's Parish in Dalton, St. Columkill in Hay Springs, St. Mary's in Pleasanton, Our Lady of Lourdes in Ravenna, Holy Spirit in North Platte. Prince of Peace Parish in Kearney, Sacred Heart Parish in Sutherland, St. Francis Parish in Ashton, Saints Peter and Paul in St. Paul, St. Boniface in Callaway, St. Patrick's Parish in North Platte, Sacred Heart Parish in Greeley, Sacred Heart Parish in Shelton, and finally St. Joseph's Parish in Elba. 21 parishes at over 100%. And when you start to get to know these numbers, and I'll just go ahead and share tier 3. I'm very excited about this announcement. This is another parish that really performed very, very well. St. Mary's Cathedral here in Grand Island. There are one Tier 3 parish. But when you add all those up, Bishop, that's 39 parishes that reached those 3 tier levels. Tier 3, by the way, is 90% of your goal, but 100% of your donor goal, which the cathedral was able to do. And again, that's 39 parishes. And I can tell you of one other one, and maybe you want to reflect a little bit on it too, but and all of them, it's just a great success. But I remember talking to Father Paul, one of my former parishes there in Kearney, and he said, Corey, our parish has never performed this well. And I mean, he thanked me, but I had to equate it to, honestly, Bishop, I had to equate it to his diocesan appeal chairperson, the announcements that were being made. He had a thermometer, I know. He mentioned that. They're a big part of these drawings because they have a lot of the incentive tickets in the basket when we add their parish in. And again, I think those are the keys to success. It's just how we get it done.
It's really true, and I think it's all these little components come together for success. And I think it's not rocket science, but at the same time, it takes that persistence. And I think that people want to see their parishes succeed. It's a marvelous thing to see this second tier, so many parishes in that second tier that made their entire goal, and both monetarily, but also in terms of donors. And to believe that that's possible. And I think that's really the invitation. We bring people along in life, and because we believe in something, we invite other people to believe in it. And when we do that, people catch on. And this is what's happened throughout this diocese. It's a wonderful thing to celebrate. I just wish we could do it in person. So,
yeah. No, I would agree with you. I think that we were both really looking forward to maybe the meal. We heard it was going to be great.
Yeah, we're going to have a meal, so I'll have cheese and crackers when I get home.
I tried to think about a virtual meal. I don't know what we could do. Like if we just put pictures of steak up on the camera, I don't know if that would do any
it doesn't
good.
cut it.
That wouldn't help us at all.
No.
One of your famous pasta dishes, we could have that up there. People could just
salivate
over it.
Yeah, that'd be it.
I don't think that's the best way to go about it. But anyway. All right. So let's talk a little bit about donors. In terms of donors, we had the 120% category, 2 parishes that had over 120% of their donors. Those parishes reaching that 100% to 120%. We had 16 parishes in that category.
That's great.
It's wonderful. So that's 18 total parishes. That's up 26% over last year of parishes that hit, 18 parishes that are hitting that level of donor. And those parishes at 80 to 100% of their donors, we were at 12. And so that brings us also 80 and above was 30 total donors, parishes that exceeded their donor goal. And that's to add it all up. So 30 total parishes exceeded their donor goal.
That's what I think is awesome. And I think it's awesome because people not only believe in the diocese, but they follow that up with action. And I just invite everybody to continue to not only do that, but invite their friends and others in their parishes to join in the effort to build up our diocese.
Yeah. And that's done with people. It's done with just sharing time with people. So as we get into, again, I'll keep referring back because I think a lot of people are excited about this drawing.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you be,
right?
We're giving it, they want us to get there. We have a little ways to go, Bishop.
Oh, we do. Okay.
The one thing the Bishop would tell me when we were cruising across the road, right? It's fine when we're driving, but when we get there, he's like, "Get to business, buddy." Well, we still got some time. Okay, but I wanted to share this in Tier 1, just so you know, we have 100 tickets. In Tier 2, 134 tickets will be added. In Tier 3, we'll add 9 tickets. So we have a total of 243 chances for our 39 parishes to participate and or win one of the $500 cash prizes that we will give away at the conclusion. Because you know what would happen if we gave it all away right now? And
they go spend it? No.
Yeah, they might go spend it. They're out of here. See you later, alligator. Okay, so listen, Bishop, we are in that final stage here of the 2019 Diocesan Appeal. It's not necessarily going to rest. I just want to make it very, very clear. There are unfulfilled pledges that are still being fulfilled. People that gave later in the year, of course, their pledge will continue on. So again, we thank them for that support. Anytime that a donor gives, seriously, so you hand-signed every single thank you, and you have now for the past 3 years that I've been doing this job.
Right. For me, it's a personal thing. I want it to be my hand signature, not an electronic one. I want them to know that that I pray for them as I sign those thank yous, because it is all about relationship, and I'm grateful for the relationship they want to have with the church of this diocese.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes I'm like, how long are you going away in your car, driving far, far away? I'm like, I need you to sign. No, we were able to pull that off. I mean, really, I can't think of it being any longer than, maybe 5 days, whatever that was. But again, here, even more so, you have signed letters as early as what, last week? I think you signed a new donor letter last week, maybe?
I did.
Yeah, so I mean, this is, again, the response, right? It's just like, when do people respond to whatever it is? And again, so those are pastors, obviously, or folks that are out there in the parishes that are communicating and continuing to communicate the importance of the appeal. So we know we'll have a final number, but as it related today, it was worth a little bit of a mess, and we have something to vacuum up tomorrow. Great. But I'm taking the day off. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, all right. So we get into as we come to the conclusion of the 2019 appeal. We've shared a lot of good information, shared a lot of numbers. We've got a lot to talk about as we're going to talk through the receipt of the 2020-21 Diocesan appeal. And that theme for this coming year is going to be Cultivate. That kicks off here in October. But as we get to that, if you wouldn't mind, maybe just a wrapping statement, just kind of wrap around whatever it is we've talked about around this appeal.
Yeah, I think as we wrap up this theme of receive this past year, I just want to go back to that passage from St. Paul. What do you have that you've not received? So everything's a gift. And even in these uncertain times, all you have to do is look at how God's taking care of us. And we can really see that, while we might want other things, we're taken care of well. I just want to say a word of thanks to all of you for playing a role in that success, because it really does take all our efforts. And I am so grateful to have that kind of support in this diocese. I thank you for your gifts, the support of our ministries, and all that we're doing to try and build up the church in our diocese. I wish I could know really the faith story of so many of you who have made these donations and what's going on in your lives, your families, and your hearts, because there's where real beauty and truth lies. But I'm just really filled with gratitude for the unity that we have in this diocese. I'm humbled to receive your support and know that I'm truly grateful. And there's many reasons for that. I think that success this year is certainly extended from my heart a gratitude to our pastors and parish leaders who've made this happen and brought this about, and to all who have been very generous, certainly in that regard. But I'm also grateful to Corey here in our Chancellery office, and Amy, his assistant, and the countless details that it takes to stay on top of this effort, and the diligent work that they're doing in our Stewardship and Development office. We couldn't do without you. And because of you, we're getting this done in a very professional way, and I'm deeply grateful to you for that, as you know.
Thank you.
So as Corey shares with you, this appeal by the numbers, just know how much gratitude wells up in my heart as I finish each day and look forward to what's ahead. And we're about to talk about what's ahead. But thank you for what you have done this year to bring this about in our diocese.
Yeah, and I want to say, as we were talking and I was making some of those announcements, I want to start with this. There's a lot of applauding. We don't get to hear it. We almost should have done what they're doing on the sports right now, is like having like the background sound. Yeah. All right, that didn't happen, but I bet it did. I mean, I'm just imagining these folks that are maybe at their parish or they're wherever they decided to watch the event today, and they're having a celebration. In fact, I see Father Paul put up his celebration hat with a smiley face, so that was awesome just to have that. But I also want to make it very clear, right? Like, every single donor mattered. Every single donor mattered. Every single effort at every one of our parishes, every donation made a difference. And it's because of each and every one of you that did that. It has allowed us the opportunity to continue to grow ministries here from the diocesan level, and to know that it's every one of those folks that support Bishop and his efforts in the Chancellery, that every one of them mentioned that, that the phone lines are open. We're here to support our parishes. We're here to support the people of the diocese. So please call in and know that, we're grateful for all of it.
That's right.
It's time. 2020, 21, another one of these. Yes.
Oh, look at that.
And that's what time it is. It's time to kick off the 2020-21 Diocesan Appeal Cultivate. I just scared everybody. They thought there was a gunshot. That's probably, I better let everybody know in the future when I'm going to do that. Okay. So, Bishop, what we got to do right now is I'm going to ask for you to know. We're going to dive into the new appeal and the way we launched it this year. So, a couple things. Our new appeal goal, $1.2 million.
Right. I I decided that we came so close to the goal this year that we would raise the entire goal by $50,000 for next year, because I think we're always working for greater participation. And so this will only increase slightly everybody's goal, but we've raised it to 1.2 from 1.15 this year. And we're going to work our way, onward and upward, you might say. But this is where we set the goal. So next year we're looking at 1,200,000 as our goal.
Yeah, 1.2 million. So again, I mean, very doable. And I would say that there's other pieces to this appeal they're going to be new. But I want to make this very clear: there is not a lot of changes this year.
No.
Last year, if you remember, I probably spent 70% of the time in front of the room when we were touring, really just trying to walk people through some of these things like the Bishop's Circle or the incentive program, just different things that were new and different. And we wanted to make sure that people out there knew, hey, these are the changes we're making. And we know it's going to take some time, but then you see the response. And I think a lot of them caught on right away.
These changes are working, and that's why I think we don't have to roll out all the differences in like the way we have done in the past. We're able to simply build on what we've done.
Yeah, build on what we've done. And so let me just start with this. Okay, what we did differently this year, because we had to change from the live event where we were going to have all the materials available for pastors when they showed up to the event. And by the way, I think we're still on track if we can figure out things with the pandemic and the things that are happening around COVID. We're still on track to look at having this event live next year.
Sure.
We're going to try to get together. So just to let everybody know, if we, that's our goal. Our mission would be to be in the room. That's what we want to do. But where we are today is what I did. We boxed up all the materials for the appeal for this year to include the in-pew envelopes and the manual and a copy of the manual and all those things that are important to the appeal. We boxed them all up and we mailed them all to the pastors early last week. Mm-hmm. So as we're saying today, every one of our parishes has already received their diocesan appeal materials. So they're in hand. And those of you that are online, we're just going to run through that material because, again, I do still think it's important that we kind of walk through the checklist and to know that, hey, whatever's here is in everybody's information. So, again, what happened, Bishop, is that everybody would have received a box similar to this, and inside the box they would have received a couple of these posters. But inside, more importantly, and for all of you pastors that are out there listening, or those of you from the parish that are out there listening, inside the box are your in-pew envelopes, but also each parish would have their own specific yellow envelope. So again, those envelopes go to each individual parish so that each parish has the same information. Mm-hmm. And then the tickets are then split up as the pastor sees necessary. Hold on one second. I only had one hand.
Yeah.
It gets a little complicated. Okay, so when you open up that envelope, what you're going to find in the envelope is the very first sheet that all the parishes are going to be able to review is going to be the 2020-21 Diocesan Appeal Parish Resources Checklist. That checklist, again, to make it simple, right? You can simply go down the line to make sure you received everything you were supposed to receive. To begin with, the leadership manual. Now, Bishop, the leadership manual has been around for a long time. Did you know that?
It has. It's valuable.
This is a valuable piece of information. Oh, waiting for a second. Okay. So the manual contains all the different pieces of the appeal.
Right.
And so when they walk through that manual, as we've always done, you'll notice all the different things around the prayer. You'll see the bishop's letter that'll be a part of this year's mailing, so you'll get to see that. Included with that, you'll have your in-pew envelopes. But as you walk through, again, here's a great page on page 5. That's another example. This is going to be Valentine, I believe. But it's another picture of a thermometer and a different way of putting a thermometer in the entryway of the church. Again, so many of our parishes did that, and it really does equate to success.
It's a great weekly reminder when people come, and some people are in a position at much different times in the year to support the appeal. So it's a great reminder whenever they come.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you get back here to page 11, Bishop, just to touch on that, you'll have all the different things that are going to equate in terms of timing. So again, pastors were emailed their goals, for example. We sent all that out already. They've already received them, and I've heard from a few pastors. So the goals for the parish are already in the pastor's hand, but also included in this packet. I'll get into that, but they'll also have their goals here. You'll have the virtual celebration. Well, that's today, Bishop. We're doing it right now.
Amen.
As long as we're here, it's happening. Okay, and then we have the campaign that starts October 17th. So what's going to happen, fathers, and those of you that are the chair folks, or those of you that are tuned in today, on the 16th, the appeal will mail out this year, Bishop. So on the 16th, it gets mailed out, and that first weekend for the pastors to just kind of mention that it's coming is on the 17th and 18th of October. That's when they'll say, hey, keep your eyes on the mail, because we don't want you to accidentally, and I'm sure it's never happened around here, but we don't want this piece of mail to end up in the wrong place, the recycle bin.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
We don't
Okay. Bishop said, don't throw away the appeal envelope. Okay. All right. So then on the 24th, that's when the pastor is going to do his official presentation. A very important week, and we've seen this now, the in-pew process of this and the way we've been able to do it by providing all the materials for the parish. So we're actually giving the envelope, the letter now, which has a perforated pledge card at the bottom. That was a big step we made this last year, because again, all those details. So those are the details. Those are the things that I've done a lot of work just finding out from other parishes or other dioceses what works. And I would say that even works in parishes, right?
Right, and I think it's important to say that while these things get mailed to people who are in our database, there are also people in our parishes who aren't yet in our database, and this gives them an opportunity to also participate.
Yeah, the in-pew, because again, and honestly, we've been able to get back to pastors with some of the names that we have found. So, for example, if myself or Amy or Greg, in fact, helps out, and Angie's helped out with entering gifts, because that's what it takes. It's a group effort. And by the way, 3,000 gifts isn't easy to enter into.
No.
But as that in-pew envelope were to come in, we have information on there. Right. When we go to our database and we don't see that person, we automatically get back to the pastor or the parish secretary typically, and we say, hey, by the way, did you know this person? And so maybe they knew them, maybe they didn't. But again, every way we can help a parish, that's our goal, right? Our goal is to get it back to the parish. So again, that big weekend is going to be the 31st of October, the 1st of November. That's Saturday and Sunday. That's the in-pew. That's the big ask. Right, so if you haven't already, received it for some reason, they're in the pews so that you can share that information. Then we jump into the next 2 weekends where we ask the lay chairperson for the appeal at the parish. We ask them to either find somebody, and honestly, Bishop, I'll tell you, the times that I have heard witness of somebody that gets up in front of the parish and shares what event did they attend. For example, I've been able to attend the Steubenville event. And if I could ask any one of those students after an event like that to get up during the appeal and say, it didn't pay their way, I know that, but it made it possible, for Eric to put together something like that. And for those kids to get up and share their appreciation for all the things that we did that weekend, I'm telling you, their hearts are changed,
Right. They make me believers. I have to say, when I hear people's personal stories of their gratitude, whether it's young people because they went to a conference, or anybody else, why they give, that kind of witness story is inspiring, but it also touches us deeply. And that's what we have to do, is share, why are we a part of this church? So
yeah, absolutely. So again, there's a couple weekends for that to happen. And our final push is that November 21, 22. That's our final push for this. And what that is Bishop, that's a week, that's a 6-week period. What we're asking the pastor and the parish to do is we're just asking them to communicate the importance of the upcoming appeal. The appeal then will run from this October all the way through next September, the end of next September, very similar to what we just finished. We finished the appeal officially, let's just say. We know that monies will still come in for this current appeal, but that's how that works. One of the changes this year, we've been listening. I think that's the key to this whole thing, is that we pay attention and we listen. And we've done that in multiple ways, but this one particular thing is it's confusing in terms of when we start and when we end. So you'll notice this year, if you're looking over here at this appeal poster, we started out, it's titled the 2020/21, and going forward, Bishop, we'll continue to do that. We're going to announce the 2 years that this appeal is going to be held to its completion. Make sense?
Right, because it begins in the fall, but it goes to the next fall, and so it's a continuous appeal. We do the main push for these 6 or so weeks in October, November, but the period is for that entire year, and that numbering, changing, the numeration that you mentioned helps cut down on that confusion.
Yeah, so. I had a call not that long ago, and they're like, why were you still asking me for money for the 2019 appeal? Isn't 2019 over? And I'm like, Yeah, technically it is. So, okay, let's change the change the
right.
gears on this
Makes
thing. How about
sense.
that? All right. And then, as you go into the continue in this, and I won't go much in more detail, Bishop, but there's talking points to all the coming weeks. There's the gospel readings for those weeks, and fathers, I know you know them, but this is good for your layperson to kind of be able to reflect ahead.
Right.
What passage is going on, November 14 and 15, what's going to be the homily, or I'm sorry, the gospel for that weekend, and
Right.
maybe you can write your witness around that,
That's a perfect idea. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then the conclusion, there's parish resources again. Now, I will say that if you go to the website for the diocese, all of the information that's inside this manual, for the most part, is going to be available on the Diocesan Appeal page under leadership resources.
Exactly.
So, again, those are things like, this manual, for example. You'll notice we got one copy per parish. And I'll tell you, if there was one thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to find ways to make a more affordable appeal, right? It's one less thing to print and one less thing to send out. So that's why we did that. I mentioned already the Cultivate poster. That poster will be available inside of the box, and there'll be multiple posters for parishes, either larger parishes or those cluster parishes where you have multiple parishes. And again, what we're asking, Bishop, is that this poster get put in every one of the parishes. Do you remember in the last year as you've toured around, because it happened for me, and I think I sent you pictures as I was in a parish.
did.
It's just the idea is that you walk in and you see it in multiple places, and oh, we're all doing this now. It's starting to work. It's
Right. I don't know how much we realize this unites us across this diocese. Especially when I go from parish to parish and I see this materials up. So same with the vocations poster, but this new poster that says "Cultivate" is our new theme for this year. And when I come from parish to parish and see that, I feel like you're connected with me here in Grand Island, and that's really encouraging for me. So thank you for using these materials.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I want to share here upcoming really quick. I'll give Oscar a cue to cue it up as I go into the next thing. And then I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and kick off and share your video. We're going to do your intro video today. We're going to let people see it for the very first time here in just a minute. And I'll let you know, Oscar, here in just a second. But, that was a lot of fun, was it not?
The things this guy thinks of and has me do, I scratch my head sometimes, but it was fun.
Yeah. Well, I can think of other things that I've asked him to do when we were driving and stopping at a sunflower field or something and say, yeah, that's a lot of fun. Well, okay, next thing on your checklist is going to be the parish info sheet. And so, Bishop, I just want to say, like last year we sent out this info sheet. What we asked for was quite a bit of information. We wanted to know, who was the chairperson, and if there were multiple chair people, who were they? And then we started to dig in a little bit. We were asking for some specific information. I'll tell you what I got back in terms of response. Quite a few people did respond, so I'm not taking away from that. But it's almost like filling out, it's like having homework. And I don't really want parishes to feel like the appeal is homework. And in fact, I'm hoping more and more that parishes are feeling like, oh, they're taking care of their own thing, right? Like that's kind of what I said. I'll take some of the weight off of the pastors in the parishes and take it on here.
Well, let me just speak to that, because that was my big desire in bringing this in this office. This is a diocesan appeal, and so it really is our responsibility, not the parish's responsibility, to handle all these details. And so this is, to that end, this is what I think has been our big accomplishment. We're getting this done here at the Chancellery rather than leaving it up to parishes. So.
Yeah. Well, so then all I said was, okay, well, what can we do better? Like, how do we do our job better? What do we do to provide the materials to them? So what I've created in this appeal info sheet, the parish info sheet, and fathers and chair people or secretaries, whoever might be filling in the information, it's really simple. That we've already got information from each of these folks that we have information on. That information is auto-filled into the form. So if that hasn't changed, nothing to say. But below it says, what resources will you use? In other words, what are some of the things that we're providing them, that both online and here in this packet that they're going to use? How are you going to share your progress? Or, are you going to use a thermometer? Or are you going to use just your bulletin, or however that's going to work? Or what resources will you access on the website? Right? Like how about right now, one of those resources is this amazing video. And I would like Oscar to cue that up for me right now and let me know if it starts, and I'll take a second break. The appeal video with Bishop. Okay, go ahead and start that up. Has it started?
Well, as I think back about growing up on the farm, life was pretty wholesome. I was a kid in the 60s, and while things were going wild in the cities, the Vietnam War,
life was pretty wholesome on the farm. Get up and do chores, get on the school bus, and come home from school, get on the tractor, or out and do yard chores, homework after supper. It was good growing up as I think about it. It was hard work, seasonal work. It was challenging sometimes to stay warm when you had to thaw out a cattle fountain with a 40 below wind chill, or when you had to bale straw with 106 degrees outside, and one bathroom and everybody wanted to get the dust off as fast as they could at the end of the day. Mom would bring lunch to the field. It was good. It was really good. There was time to think. I often say now with so much going on, there was time to think back then. You know, when I think about farming, especially planting a seed, waiting it to grow, watching it grow, it takes time. In farming, you have to be patient with the weather, but patient with the process. And in the process, God does amazing things. You know, city people joke about, you know, what do you do on a farm? Watch corn grow. And as you know, you really can't see it grow, though it does. And it really takes patience with our faith, too, because sometimes I don't think we realize the kind of growth that's taken place in our faith that's happened over the years, the way in which, without us knowing it, God has, by our prayers and by our celebration of the sacraments, how God has really taken our faith and moved it and grown it too. This year's Diocesan Appeal focuses on cultivating faith, and in that regard, one of the things that's most important is that we also cultivate vocations to the priesthood and consecrated life. And young people today are looking for a meaningful way to give themselves to the service of others, including the service of our Lord in this church. And so I'm really grateful for our 8 seminarians this year, but I know there are others who are seriously thinking about, how can I make a difference? I said to myself when I decided to go to the seminary, there's nothing more important than getting to heaven. What could be more important than dedicating my life to helping others get there as well? And that has really animated me and motivated me throughout my priesthood. Young people, I invite you to consider what you're going to do to make a difference in the world, and really what could be more important than helping other people grow in their faith and enter the kingdom of heaven with you. Please consider a religious vocation if that's where the Lord is calling you, and trust that He will take care of you. He will fill your life with joy. He will bless you in amazing ways, and you will be happy not only in this world, but in the world to come.
Okay, we're back. What do you think? What do you think they thought? We didn't get to watch it, but I've showed it to you before.
It was fun.
Oh my gosh, it was a blast. You know, and I hope what you got out of it is the same thing that I got out of it. I mean, it was like, I said, okay, well, and I had to calm him down, so to speak. Not really, but you know, it's just a matter of like, who wants to be on camera and whatever. But the idea was like, you know what? He mentioned how many miles he puts on his car. Well, that's what our bishop does for us. And the diocese was 42,000 square miles. The only way he connects with the people is to be on the road. And so I just felt like being on the road in Nebraska, showing you in your element, like you love that stuff.
It was fun.
Praying the rosary, all that good stuff.
It was good.
Hey, so I know Oscar was going to take us live here to the website, so I'm going to ask him to put me on the website. And so what you'll all be seeing is the website right now. Is that true? Yes. Okay. So what I just wanted to show you is we go in here to the offices and ministries, and then you go here to the Diocesan Appeal, everybody. Under the Diocesan Appeal, you'll have here the resources for leadership. And I just wanted, again, just touch on the fact that we have made all the resources that are in the box available to you right here. So parish secretaries, or those of you that may be putting information up on your in your bulletin, this is your copy and paste version of the appeal message. You know, again, it's just a matter of how do we utilize the technology. Our brand new website. I mean, it feels still brand new to me. It's beautiful. You know, being able to use it. Having the logo to be able to put that on there. And, you know, we encouraged this last year, and I know some of our parishes did it, Bishop, but, you know, that first weekend, We had plenty of our parishes using this new logo, the theme, Cultivate, as their front page of their bulletin.
Well, we're all getting more savvy with technology, and this only makes sense as having it at our fingertips, a way to access this information. And so I really encourage people to use it.
Yeah, so there's the information on the website. That's your resource to go to the website. And just so you know, everybody that's online, am I back on? Well, anyway, so I just want to say this, right? So all these resources that have just been made available by this wonderful group called Pax Christi. Aren't they great?
Amen.
Isn't they great?
Applause.
Amen to them. Amen to them.
Applause. Hey, look.
I blew some of that. Yeah. Can you start spinning that thing a little bit?
These things are getting ready.
They're
getting really
we are
ready.
so close
The time
to that
is
happening.
near.
All right, let me finish just one quick thing. I know you're thinking, when is this guy going to be quiet? But here's what we got. All right, so we go back to the resources checklist. You got your incentive progress sheet with your envelope. So again, your parish incentive tickets, those tickets are included in every one of the envelopes, Bishop. And on the back, you'll notice a slight change was we've included the incentive number. Well, when you go to the incentive worksheet, you'll notice that each one of the incentives now is numbered, so you can simply just put the number of that incentive on your
much easier
on your ticket, and then just mail those, the ones that you've completed along with the ones that they collect during the week, and then an envelope was provided for you to keep your stub of that incentive in that. Yes, he's going to keep spinning that. That's good. That's why we brought it out. The next thing is going to be the parish goal sheet, and Bishop, I just want to point out one important factor. First and foremost, at the top is the parish goal. That first number is going to be the goal of the parish, okay? Now, you notice how many parishes hit 120+%?
17, I think.
Yeah, and that was the incentive, right? So that was the incentive for parishes. If they reach that, they're going to be in all 10 of these drawings, right? Well, so this year we've included the challenge goal, which is 20% above. So now you'll see as a parish, your first goal is going to be your parish goal. That's what we're asking of them. And then the challenge goal is going to be that 20% increase over their goal. So that's what we're looking for. And then your donor goal. Now, that was another thing I just want to be clear. I reduced the donor goal numbers again this year. I reduced it for a couple of reasons. We had parishes, I think, that do probably need maybe a slightly lower number. But again, what we continue to encourage is based on the numbers that we're getting in households, we would like you to try to make that goal. So anyway, that's your parish goal sheet. Then we go into the goal formula. We talked about this last year. And again, you know what, Bishop? We heard time and time again from our pastors that support schools. And I said, well, we're going to do something about it. And through multiple meetings that we had, I think we even talked about that in our finance committee with the diocese, we came up with this formula. We do discount those parishes that have schools and they support schools. So those numbers are taken into consideration. Then you end up with your diocesan appeal parish goals, and this is a full listing of all the goals for all the parishes across the diocese. All right, so again, transparency came up so many times as we went across the diocese. Over and over again, people saying, well, what's this person's goal or what's that person's goal? You know, we still aren't specifically naming numbers as far as where parishes get, but I would say that having those goals out there and everybody seeing everybody's equal share of the 1.2 million, because again, we're setting the number and then we're taking in all these other considerations like average household means or whatever that is, their total income from the
all
parish.
the factors, sure.
Yeah. So those are all important things. And then the answer Q&A sheet, this is just, again, what is a formula goal or what is the parish raised? What does that mean? So that sheet is, again, a duplicate from last year. I would tell you that there aren't too many surprises as you go from one last year's appeal to this year's appeal, other than the fact that we're just as excited. If I might be a little more excited.
I don't know if you could be more excited, but I just want to add that my goal is to standardize this now from year to year as much as possible, so that there isn't a lot of change. And I think we're getting there. And that I think you're going to see in these materials, this is not much going to look different than this last year. And so really, as we can standardize this process, we'll all be much more familiar with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's not just letting me run amok anymore is what you're saying. So we're getting close, Bishop. We are so close. We're just a few minutes away. I'm going to just close with this. I would just want to make a statement, and I think you might have a closing statement to this new appeal. But I will say, again, in total gratitude for everyone across our diocese, I can't tell you how many donors that I was able to pray with. I know Amy had those opportunities as well. We got to hear some incredible stories. I know that I was out over the course of this last year up until some of the limitations with the virus, but to just go and sit with the donor and just have a conversation with them to get to know them, to be able to communicate back to you some of the stories
Indeed.
about that. I mean, it's important. I mean, and honestly, I'm not sure that I can stretch, because I feel like that's a big job, and I hope to do more and more of it as we move forward. And I hope that we can continue to see the need and support of this. That being somebody out asking questions, talking about things like, estate planning and investments and different ways that we can do things. That's really what my office will turn into. Right now, we're focused on the appeal. We want to get good at it.
Right.
We want to make it important, and we want people to know how important it is to support it.
It takes time, and it's happening. I'm really grateful for that. And I think we're at the place now where more and more of that development work can happen to engage people in relationship across this diocese who really want to remember the church. And so I'm looking forward to that aspect as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't get over. So Father Hoke made the drive. You saw him.
Yes,
right?
he was here.
Yeah, that guy's great. But I tell you, 8 young men. I got to go and video. You showed up at the St. Pat's that day, and I was doing my film. I turned into one of those guys on the other end of the camera. Not too bad.
Yeah, we were.
I mean, I haven't got a job offer yet, so apparently I didn't do well enough.
I think they look better, but I'll take you.
Yeah. So anyway, I got to go out there and I got to sit with it. I know, keep spinning it. But what we're going to do, Bishop, is I'd like to break away really quick, and I would like to show another one of our videos supporting this appeal.
Good.
And I would tell you that I think if there's anything that the people in this diocese can really get behind, is the idea that 8 young men have answered the call. One just ordained this last year, Father Gilbert. I want to call him Deacon Dan all the time. Young man. Yes, he is a young man. But anyway, let's just share this diocesan appeal video for the vocations office. If you could cue that up and start it, Oscar, let me know.
Hello, I'm Bishop Hannafeld here with the seminarians of our diocese. Happy to present them to you today in this video. We have 8 men studying for the priesthood for our diocese. We are cultivating the faith in this diocese, and this is a great example of how God's raising up fine young men to serve us. Of course, the challenge is always the cost of seminary formation and education today, and so I really encourage you to support these young men by your donations to the diocesan appeal as that gets underway. And really ask the Lord not only for the gift of generosity in your own heart, but especially that the Lord would bless them in their time of formation so that all of us would be benefited by their priesthood in the years to come. Thank you, and God bless you.
Hello and greetings to everyone in the Diocese of Grand Island. I'm Father Neil Hoke. I'm the Vocation Director for the Diocese of Grand Island. I also serve as chaplain at the Newman Center UNK. We have some exciting things going on in the vocation office. Most prominently is the fact that we have 8 seminarians for the Diocese of Grand Island. 3 new young men said yes to their vocations. I hope you enjoy hearing their stories. They're very inspirational, they're very exciting, and there's a lot of hope and desire that they bring to the desire for the priesthood and hope for the diocese that they bring. So enjoy getting to know them, and thank you for your prayers and your support. These are our young men. This is the future of our church. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Sam Ogden, a seminarian for the Diocese of Grand Island. I want to thank you for your support with the Grand Island Diocesan Appeal. God bless you.
Hi, my name is John Roeder, and I'm a seminarian from the Diocese of Grand Island, Nebraska. I just want to thank you for all of your support of the Grand Island Diocesan Appeal.
Hello, my name is Noah Huddleston, and I'm from Kearney, Nebraska, and I'm a seminarian for the Diocese of Grand Island. Thank you for supporting the Diocesan Appeal.
Again, I'm Bishop Hannafeld, and I want to thank you for your support for the Diocesan Appeal.
Thank you for your support.
And around and around and around they go. Where it stops, nobody knows, Bishop. Hey, any closing comments on this new appeal?
Yeah, let me just say that, faith is what makes us strong, and faith is a gift from God in baptism, and faith enables us to trust God, but to entrust ourselves to him. And that's the piece that I think is so important. We do all of this in faith, and we have to, really. But faith is nourished and strengthened by the sacraments. And with this COVID virus, many people have been afraid to return to Mass. And yet I think our parishes are some of the more safer places actually to be. Our churches are safe, and I really invite people to come back to Mass. But despite this virus, we have the highest appeal we've had almost since the beginning. We have done it, really. And people have been so generous and faithful. And we've been around this virus now for over 7 months, and we are doing it because people have faith. And I want to underscore with gratitude the faith of this diocese that supports this appeal, and really invite that, again, to be your response this year as we launch this new appeal as well. The Great Commission of the Lord is to go and make disciples. That's our mission, to go and make disciples throughout this diocese. And your support for this helps us do that in countless ways. So as we launch this new 2021 appeal, I really just ask you to draw yourself into the idea of cultivate, the idea of what you have received, as we said last year. We now cultivate so that it grows even more. And our hope is that what we received will flourish as we cultivate it into a greater faith and life and vitality in our diocese. So thank you for your faith-filled support, and look forward to your continued support for our new appeal.
Yes, and as it is, right, it says, trust in the Lord and do good, dwell in the land and live secure. Psalms 37:3. My eyes did not fail me. Bishop, thank you for today.
You're welcome.
That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
It was great to meet the staff. We have a wonderful staff here. You have a wonderful staff, and we support everything that you do, and we're so grateful for everything that you do.
I have a great team, and I'm very grateful for their work here, yes.
Well, thank you. Why don't you spin it a couple more times? Do you know how many we have here? Wait a minute. Okay, everybody, get ready. Here it comes. Yeah, that was it. That was the last one. Okay, so now what we're doing here, we got 4 drawings, Bishop. So 4 total drawings. Okay. And those will be for $500. I've got somebody take a note of who the winners of these 4 drawings are going to be.
I dug around in here.
Okay, you dug around. You didn't just go off to the one off top.
St. Mary's in Mullen, Father Nash's parish.
St. Mary's in Mullen. By the way, that was our top performing parish. It would make sense that they got the first ticket. So St. Mary's in Mullen, if I see you commenting online, I see a lot of great comments coming in. That's number 1.
I'm digging around.
Okay, digging around. That's a $500 cash prize, by the way.
St. Patrick's in Paxton, Father Ernest.
St. Patrick's in Paxton, Father Ernest. Another one of our top parishes. Yeah, anyone in the office can come in. You guys could come behind us if you'd like.
St. Luke's in Ogallala, Father Ernest.
St. Luke's in Ogallala. Congratulations. That is awesome.
St. John the Evangelist in Stapleton.
St. John, thank you. All right. Now, hold on a second, Bishop. I'll let you hold that door open for me. So those are our top 5. We've given away $2,000. Just like that. Hold on one second. Let me grab Tier 2. Now, Tier 2, these are all those parishes. Again, they made 100% of their goal and 100% of their donor goal. This is a lot more tickets. Hold on one second. We're going to have to really, everybody's going to want those to be very much stirred up. So go ahead and start spinning that wheel, Bishop. Okay, we have 3 drawings here on the Tier 2. 3 drawings. We'll have 3 parishes that will receive a $500 cash prize. Watch out for those that are right here. Let me push those back in. Yeah, dig around a little bit. That's a good idea. This is a big deal. It's $500 cash. Here, I got the mic for you.
This is St. Gabriel's in Hazard, Father Pinkowski.
St. Gabriel's. There's the cheers I was looking for. Can you hear all the... Okay, I'm going to set these in a different place. We got another one here for the...
St. Labore, Father Sid.
Father Sid and St. Labore. Congratulations, Father Sid and parish. One more for this tier.
Sacred Heart in Sutherland, Father Sagar.
Sacred Heart in Sutherland. Good job. Okay, hold on, Bishop. We got to add a parish here. We got 1 parish in Tier 3. We got 3 more. So we add tier 3. That was St. Mary's Cathedral. That's going to be our final tier. So we have no repeats. So we have 3 more drawings, and we're going to have some very loud applauses for these final 3. This is a lot of fun. This thing right here, this is a lot of fun. Oh, here, I'm going to stick it in there. Good. He's digging around. He's not just going off the top.
St. Luke's in Ogallala, Father Ernest.
Father Ernest, another 500. Congratulations. Yeah, we had a repeat. Okay, here we go.
Sacred Heart in Burwell, Father Harter.
Father Harter. Good job. Congratulations. Okay, here we go. Final. This is a drum roll. Final drawing. Here. Some more glitter.
This is St. Columkills in Hague Springs, Father Dan Gilbert.
Woo! Father Gilbert, our newest priest. Bishop, that's all we have today. Thank you so much for everything. I would invite the staff and everybody that's here, please come in and join us behind.
Yeah. No, this has been really a great opportunity. Again, how much I would have enjoyed if we could all be in person, but thank you all for tuning in. And thanks to Pax Christi Multimedia for making that even possible for us today. Thank you for all your support as the staff comes on in who are here in the building today. I really want to say on behalf of all of them, a deep word of gratitude. It's a great diocese. It's great that we can be here together in this way, and I'm so grateful for everyone. May I give you all a blessing. May God in his goodness watch over you with his blessing and his protection in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen. God bless and have a good week.
Thank you, Bishop. And from the diocesan staff, thank you very much. God bless. Have a great day. Happy Sunday. And we are